Good morning, I'm Dr. Wendy Walsh. Welcome to the Balancing Act. Today, the importance of playtime outside for children is reinforced by a company that makes outside safer and greener.
That's right, and I'm Danielle Knox. Also coming up this morning, a marriage expert tells us how to keep your marriage shatterproof and the most functional, comfortable, gas-free bicycles you will ever find. Those stories and more, all this morning on the Balancing Act.
Hi, today we're talking about the importance of outdoor playtime for our children.
And with 3 boys, they've got to get out a lot. And this is such an important subject because kids really are not getting enough outdoor playtime with all those video games, all those gadgets they have.
You're so right. Well, with us today to discuss this subject and also safe kid playtime are Keith Sachs from Rubber Recycle, manufacturer of Play Safer, and Leslie Silliman from IPEMA, a nonprofit group that looks at the safety of playground equipment. Welcome.
We appreciate you guys being here with us. What an honor for us to have you here because as parents, anything to do with safety, anything to do with our kids, we are in. And I have to tell you, when I was a kid, I would spend hours outdoors. My parents actually would say, when the street lights come on,
right?
You
Remember
come
that?
home, you put it over and stay out. Do you think we have kind of lost the importance of that in today's society?
Well, I think there are so many technological distractions for kids these days between the video games, the television, the internet, and I think they're just not getting enough time outdoors. And we know it's very important for them to be outside playing. It's good for their waistline, it's good for their physical health, but it's also very important for their development.
And Leslie, one of the things your organization does is looks at the safety of all these really innovative playground structures that are out there, and you also look at the surfaces, and you recommend something that Keith is going to tell us about. Tell us about it.
Like
Keith.
a wonderful rubberized
Basically
surface.
what it is it's rubber mulch, it's ground up tires that have just come off cars. Basically we take them into our facility, we clean them, we grind them, shred them, and the byproduct is rubber mulch. The steel gets recycled, the rubber gets recycled, and the end product is a great safety surface for kids under their playgrounds.
You know this firsthand because
Absolutely.
you had a situation with your own child.
Actually, my daughter Annie, when she was probably 2.5 years old, I had her climbing on a rock wall, and she fell back and she landed on rubber mulch. And she didn't get hurt or anything, but you know, a kid takes a fall like that, they kind of want to scream and cry out. Well, I froze in my tracks. I was so taken back. She just kind of looked around, didn't see me, and just got up and walked away.
Had that been any other surface?
I would have had a child who was seriously injured.
Yeah. I'm going to be the first to tell you that I tripped and fell carrying my child on cement one time, and she had a full-on concussion.
Oh,
It was a bad thing. It was a bad thing. Now, had I known about your product, and I just discovered your product in December when I was visiting some friends who had a community playground that was so high-end and beautiful and manicured and perfect, and I'm picking up this stuff going, what is it? It looks like cedar mulch, but no, it's kind of rubbery. Oh my goodness, these are tires.
They're tires.
I thought, what a green company. I love that.
Can you add that to any play set? Any play area?
Any play set, commercial or residential, and comes in different colors. And you know, as your kids age, go off to college, take the mulch away from the playground, put it in your landscaping. It looks beautiful, and it's there for years.
That's wonderful.
Beautiful. Now, you recommend this surface. Your organization has tested it.
We've tested it. It's one of the best. It's incredibly safe.
Good to know.
All right.
Okay, where can people go to find out more? And do you deliver?
We deliver across the country. They can go to rubbermulch.com or playsafer.com.
Sounds good.
And we also want to remind parents to go to voiceofplay.com where they can download a play pledge they can put on their refrigerators with their kids to help remind them
And
how
they have to
important
sign
it is.
it to make
They
sure,
sign
yeah.
it, they
Like
put
a
it up there.
Contract to play.
Exactly.
Voiceofplay.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, from stress central to centered and relaxed. Up next, a way to restore your emotional equilibrium. You know, as women in today's world, our minds and bodies are sometimes stress central. To compensate, some of us overeat, smoke, drink, and just try to numb our minds. In the process, we sometimes lose our carefree, in-the-moment sense of joy that we had as children. Well, author, wellness and energy coach Edwige Gilbert is here to tell us about her proven 28-day program to give you back your life. Welcome, Edwige. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me here today, Wendy.
So your book is called The Fresh Start Promise.
Yes.
Tell me about it. Why did you write it?
I wrote it because when I came to this country 20 years ago, I suffered from a lot of stress and escaped into bagels and brownie diet.
I know that diet. It's a good one, temporarily.
And as a result, you can imagine I gained 25 pounds and also this compulsive overeating habits. So I knew I had to change. So I decided to study. And I study all the Eastern and Western traditions, such as yoga and hypnosis. And in the process, I discovered that willpower is the enemy of change.
Before we get to willpower, so the end of all your studies, you lost 25 pounds
Yes.
and changed your life in what other dramatic ways?
Well, then I decided once I'm free of this habit, I can have joie de vivre.
Oh, that's my favorite French saying, joie de vivre.
So this
joy of
is
life.
what I promise with the Fresh Start Promise, that you are now focusing on the big, big vision that you want for your life.
Now, did I hear you say willpower is our enemy?
Yes, Wendy, as you know, we are all creatures of habits, and the mind will do anything to keep us in our comfort zones. The moment we force change upon ourselves by saying, I should, I have to, it experiences it as painful and will stop you from changing.
So it's almost like a grit your teeth and bear it.
Yes.
I will change, I will change, I will change, which is a difficult thing to do. What do you suggest?
So instead, I suggest to engage another power called the subconscious that we forget exists. And the subconscious can only be accessed through the power of imagination, through the relaxed mental state and calm, positive words that you say to yourself.
So what are the specific techniques in your book?
You clear first the presence of anxiety and fears that stops you from creating the future that you desire.
And how do you clear?
I clear with a technique called the 3 C's, which is a meditation that leaves you feeling calm, centered and connected. And then you create with a self-hypnosis technique that helps you install a new conditioning into your subconscious mind.
I hear you use the word conditioning. So you're basically training your mind to have new habits.
Absolutely. And it takes 28 days to create that mental new conditioning.
The phase of the moon?
Phase of the moon.
And our cycle?
Yes.
28 days. So at the end of 28 days, what are people going to find in their fresh start?
They found that it's easy to just be. They don't have to try to change anymore. They are different. It's like a miracle at the end.
The Fresh Start Promise. Where can
Yes.
people find the book?
On my website and in major bookstores across the country, such as Barnes & Noble,
And what is your website?
and newlifedirections.com.
newlifedirections.com. 28 days. I'm going to have joie de vivre. Thank you so much, Edwige. Nice to see
Merci
you.
beaucoup.
De rien. Well, family, home, health, and career. We can help you balance it all. Stay tuned. We got lots more ahead. Welcome back to The Balancing Act. I'm Dr. Wendy Walsh, joined once again by my colleague Danielle Knox.
Hey,
Welcome.
Wendy, thanks.
And we have our favorite marriage and family therapist with us again, John Eckenweiler, and your book, Shatterproof Your Marriage, What Makes Couples Want to Give Up and How to Prevent It. Thanks for being here again.
Thanks.
Yeah, we
Thanks for
appreciate
having me.
having you, and I think the viewers appreciate having you too, because we've gotten so many emails from viewers with questions about how they can shatterproof their marriage. And so I want to ask you this question, because I found this one to be very interesting. This one says, I used to be deeply in love with my partner of 3 years until he left me for another woman.
Oh.
Okay, after taking him back once, he did it again. After months of keeping my distance, he returned and has appeared to have changed. Now, 1 year later, with absolutely no problems on his end, I find it difficult to truly love him and fully commit to our future. I want to be with him, but why am I still feeling this way when things are perfect now? Are things really perfect now?
Well, Danielle, they may very well be, but what I find is that people who have been involved with an affair, many times they don't really get specific and do the work they need to do to find out what are all the root causes of that, and he has to do that work. He has to find out what is it about him that really made it possible for him to step outside of the marriage boundary. Once she knows that he's done that work, she's going to have a lot of reassurance, and it's going to free her up to do a lot more work towards getting closer to him.
So it's about getting him in couples therapy with her to work through some of the older issues so that she can bring back trust.
Exactly.
All right, question number 2, also from a viewer. I do not have any children of my own and have recently married into a relationship where my wife already has 2 children. How do I retain my authoritative role while at the same time reassuring the children that I'm not trying to take their father's place? This is a tough one.
Because a lot of times kids will say, you're not my dad.
That's right.
You can't tell me what to do. So what can he do?
Well, you have to start with finding out how old these kids are. Okay. The younger the kids are, the more natural it is for a step-parent to step in and start disciplining and being part of that parenting role. The older they are, the more respect, I think, needs to be shown for their ability to think for themselves. I think really they have to be very careful not to go either direction too far. You don't want to step in and be too authoritarian. But you also need to have some respect shown to you. So I think that's where the biological parent needs to kind of be a lead parent. They need to work that out between themselves.
We have one more question. Now this one says, I have become very serious in a new loving relationship. Now we're looking into buying a home together.
That's good news.
However, my daughter is a junior in high school and hopes to graduate with her friends after next year. And so moving into a new house would mean my daughter would have to transfer in her senior year, which is something she doesn't want to do. She's afraid that moving in will negatively affect her daughter, or that she may miss out on a wonderful opportunity with a relationship if she doesn't go.
Well, I personally think that this mother's primary responsibility is to her child. So I think for her personal happiness, the mother's, that she needs to put that secondary to this daughter's needs. My family split up and I moved when I was a senior in high school, and it was a horrible experience.
So you have personal experience with that kind of pain.
Yes.
John, thank you so much for being with us
Thank you
again.
very
If you want to
much.
hear more of his wisdom, pick up a copy of Shatterproof Your Marriage, What Makes Couples Want to Give Up and How to Prevent It.
And the website, shatterprooflife.com.
Shatterprooflife.com. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
John.
Are you wanting to do something fun with your family this summer? Well, we've got some ideas coming up. Don't go away. Summer is finally here, and although the economy may not say family road trip to you, the Travel Industry Association estimates 6 out of 10 Americans with plans to drive on vacation this summer won't change their plans despite rising gas prices. Well, what can you do with any type of budget this summer to keep your family together and happy? Our guest this morning, joining us live from Kissimmee, Florida, Colleen, Mom on the Run Burns, is here to give us tips on how to enjoy our summer and our family this year and not break the bank. Listen, first I hear that you are the mother of 5 boys. I gotta say, that's gotta be a handful. How do you get all those kids organized and settled for a summer road trip?
Well, it is pretty crazy, but the thing I've found helps the most is to really be prepared and plan ahead. About a week before we take a trip, I start asking the kids to help by laying out the items they want to take along on the trip. I let them know how many of each clothing item they should bring, and then I go back and edit, of course, make sure things match, make sure they remembered their socks, their toothbrushes, that kind of thing. I also like to bring along a survival kit on the road so we don't have to stop at a convenience store if some little mishap happens. So I'll have Band-Aids, antihistamines, pain relievers, bug spray, sunscreen, that kind of thing. I also like to bring along some road maps in case my GPS goes down. I also like to make sure that I know all of the road rules across the country because a lot of laws are taking effect as of July 1st. For example, in Washington, California, and New York, as of July 1st, you can no longer use a cell phone without a hands-free device. Like this one, this is the Parrot mini kit, and it clips right to your sun visor in your car. It lets you then keep your hands on the wheel and your eyes on the road, and it's portable so you can take it back and forth from your car to your hotel. So it works out pretty well. I also like to ask my friends and family if they have any tips to save money in different regions of the country, and I like to find a hotel with a lot of free stuff. For example, the Country Inns and Suites, I'm at one right now in Kissimmee, Florida. And they offer this summer as a special promotion a travel values coupon book worth $200. They also have free breakfast every morning, which certainly adds up when you have 5 kids.
Okay, the plunging economy is certainly in the news nowadays. What are some ways that we can spend time with our families this summer that can appeal to all budgets?
Well, you're right, we're all feeling the economic pinch, but it's important to have those family memories. In fact, a national survey has found that family memories is the thing that people look most forward to on a family vacation. Not where they're going and not what they're doing, but that they're spending that time with their family. So try and keep that plan, you know, on the books this summer, even if you have to cut corners in other places. And some ways to save money are to bring along some of your own food and snacks. You could use this Rubbermaid DuraChill cooler. It keeps food cold for up to 5 days and even 90-degree temperatures. So that works out really well. You can save on making stops and save some time. Burger King offers something for everyone. They have a BK Crown card this summer that makes it very easy to use, and you don't have to carry as much cash on hand. If you can't go anywhere for a road trip this summer, consider looking at your own hometown. Use that as a travel destination and visit those tourist attractions you just haven't had a chance to visit yet.
All right, so do you know any exciting sites that our viewers can check out this summer?
Well, I know you can go to roadsideamerica.com or twochambers.com. Both of those sites have a ton of information about either free or low-cost attractions that are within driving distance of wherever you live. So they're very good resources.
Thanks, Colleen. Good suggestions. Where can we go for more information?
You can find out more information and get some more travel tips on my website at momontherun.tv. Just look under travel blogs and you'll find lots of information.
Thanks, Colleen. Have fun traveling with those 5 boys.
Thank you.
And you enjoy the wind on your face and the ever-changing scenery by riding the most comfortable bicycle ever. Stay tuned. You're watching The Balancing Act. We've got more ahead.
Keep kids busy on that long car ride to your vacation destination. Get a free kids audiobook from Audible Kids. This coupon is yours along with other coupons worth over $200 when you schedule your next stay at Country Inns and Suites, featuring 450 locations in North America, free breakfast, free in-room high-speed internet, and kid-friendly swimming pools. So book your stay and upload movies and photos from your vacation for all your friends and relatives to see at www.seeyouontheporch.com.
Now picture this, you're 8 years old, you're riding on your brand new bicycle that you got for your birthday. It's got a banana seat, remember that, Danielle?
I do.
Streamers on the high handlebars, it's painted your favorite color, mine was purple.
Mine was pink, and you have taken me back to First Street in Richmond with that story. And wouldn't you love to have an adult version of your childhood bike? Well, maybe one that's going to improve your health and save you some money on gasoline and make you feel like a kid again? Well, here to make that dream come true for us is Torger Sikvelin. He is president of Day 6 Bicycles. Torger, thank you so much for being with us.
Hi,
Thank
Torger.
you.
Now tell us, what is the motivation for Day 6 bikes?
Well, the designer of our bike injured himself early in his career and found that the traditional bicycle was too uncomfortable. So he used his wife's bike as a model to develop the bike that we're going to look at here today.
I was going to say, you know, I'm sure there've got to be some pretty unique benefits to an unusual looking bike like this. What are some of the benefits for the rider?
Well, there are a lot of benefits, and they all lead to comfort.
Okay.
One of the biggest benefits that we have is the ability to sit on the seat with both feet on the ground. So when you come to a stop, you don't have to get on and off the seat. You can continue to maintain your riding position.
And there's a great backrest, too.
There is. The backrest allows you to have that power for climbing hills. It gives you nice support when you're sitting there. It's a very well-designed bicycle.
And we should say, this bike is not just for people with disabilities. It's for everybody.
Certainly not. It's very fun, and it will get you on that bike, get it out of the garage, and get you going.
One of the things you talked about was the wrist stress, too, because we all tend to want to ride our bikes like this, but with this bike, that's not the case.
Certainly, your wrist is not designed to support your weight, so when you lean forward on it, it can be very uncomfortable. By sitting up and having your hands above your shoulders, you're not putting that additional stress on your wrist.
Okay,
All right, what do
Torger,
you
enough
say?
talk.
We take a look.
Let's see this
huh?
bike.
I'd love to see some more of these bikes. All
Torger,
right.
look at these
Take
bikes.
a look at this.
I've never seen anything
Torger,
like
these
it.
are amazing. I actually think this is such an unusual design.
Tell me about the features here.
Well, what we have is a crank forward, step through bicycle.
Step on through, Miss Wendy.
Step through.
So these
Now,
are
why did
men
you
or
do-
women.
Yep. Why did you do step through?
Well, the biggest reason is the safety that's involved, but also if we had a top bar, you wouldn't be able to swing your leg over the seat because of the seat back.
And the seat back is a great feature. So this adjusts for your lower back.
The seat back is fully adjustable up and down, forward and back. It includes this handy backpack.
That's great. Store your stuff in there.
Nice high handlebars.
Exactly. Keeps the pressure off those wrists.
And we've got 2 different models here as well.
We do. We have a 21 speed, which we call the Dream, It's for those aggressive riders that maybe are still athletes and they want to get out and they want to ride hard, or maybe they live in a hilly area. The 7-speed, which we refer to as the Journey, is for those people that are getting back on the bike for the first time maybe in a while, and 21 speeds is a little intimidating, so they can use the single shifter of the 7-speed and get along just fine.
Sounds good.
So you're finding because gas prices have risen that people are using and buying your bikes just to run errands?
We are. If you replace 1 or 2 trips a day or a week, it will make quite a substantial difference in your fuel bill, and the versatility of a bicycle really allows people to do a lot of things.
One of the great things about the versatility too is you can take the kids along with this bike as well, right?
You can. If your kids are too young to ride, we have this trailer that attaches right to the back of the bike. It's very stable, it's very safe. If something happens, you tip the bike over, the kids are safe in a very stable trailer.
I have to tell you, Torger, I own that exact trailer, and I love it because it also converts to a really high handlebar stroller for jogging, and it is very safe and stable for the kids. Best one out there.
Sounds good.
And where can we go to find out more?
You can go to www.day6bicycles.com.
Yeah.
You can find out all about the bike, some bicycling hints, and if you mention that you saw this segment, you'll get a discount on your purchase.
Torger, thank you so much. Day6bicycles.com. I'm Dr. Wendy Walsh. Tomorrow on The Balancing Act, juicy wine pairings, delicious sandwiches, crisp creative salads, and a time-saving way to train man's best friend.
And I'm Danielle Knox. We want to thank you so much for joining us today right here on The Balancing Act. We'll see you tomorrow.
Air travel for The Balancing Act provided by Southwest Airlines.